So, very important. A lot of you saw the business model, how you set up your own business, how you create your own product, how you start specializing and creating your own credibility kit so that you can ultimately get to this place where you're talking to investors. But a lot of you are probably thinking, well, I got a couple friends that I could probably start with. But after that, I'm completely clueless. Anybody there? Everyone's kind of like, especially after the attorney said, you cannot advertise investments. And you're like, okay, well, there goes my idea. Right? Or maybe you went to some other guy's training who said, yeah, just put a big old ad on the paper, 8% interest rate, and pray to God you don't go to jail. Right? People are doing that, and it's really sad. And when I see it, I just cringe because, well, you hear my term.
Well, yeah, in fact, somebody posted last night on one of our Facebook pages, 15% ROI. So I saw it and I went and deleted them.
Isn't that funny? It's crazy. I'm glad I didn't post that.
There's a guy in the Real Deal community that says he has $50 million. I don't know if that's supposed to be there or not.
He can say he has $50 million. He just can't say I'll pay you a percentage or give me your money.
Right.
So whether he has or not, I sincerely doubt it. Because most of the guys with $50 million keep that in their back pocket.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Got a big back pocket for $50 million.
Yeah, I just thought I'd let you know since it's the Real Deal
Absolutely, I appreciate that. Now, any questions before we start talking about this, about whether it was the residential part, dealing with management, dealing with contractors, dealing with attorney issues, anything that we covered yesterday? Anybody have any questions before we start running? Yes, sir.
On a situation with a contractor, when they're doing a rehab, how much leeway do you give the contractor? And I realize that it may depend on whether you're going to just turn the house or whether you're going to use it for rental property. But how much leeway do you give the contractor on making decisions about materials?
That's a really good question. Currently, we're in the process of removing that from the equation. However, I would say when you're starting with somebody, a new contractor, even sometimes we'll actually drive up, we'll buy the materials and meet him there so that he can go and get his work done. Just to ensure that, because what ends up happening is a lot of times the contractor is making money on the spread of the time that he's charging you versus the time he's paying. And then the other part that he charges you on is the percentage on materials. And a lot of times that is very inflated and you're paying extreme prices that you should not be. So we are in the process, we're getting to the place now where probably within the next 12 months, what we're doing is we're setting up an account with Home Depot. We put over $200,000 in escrow. What that enables us to do is to get literally anything that they have available of all the product that we can purchase at about 30% discount at all times. And so then what we're going to do is basically say, they even give you a catalog, which is what we're trying to pick out right now with our designer, is what are the kitchens going to look like. And here's the designs of this, the tiles. Here's what the tiles that we're going to choose for the houses. Almost like spec building. And that's kind of what we're doing at that point. And the reason for it is this, so that whenever the contractor comes in, he can give me a bid on his time. But I already have a list of what my materials are really going to cost. So by saving that 30%, I really create a hedge. It'll probably increase ROIs for sure, but it's there to protect. Which we're still not there. We're still trying to get there. When you're not there, really what you want to do is until you trust the contractor and he's proven himself over and over again with you, you want to make sure you go out there and purchase the materials with them. And that's the best way to make sure, I would say. Now, of course, when you're dealing with somebody like Moses has done quite a few things for us. So, and he's the kind of guy, like, I kid you not, I had a property, I was selling it, under contract, ready to go, everything's fine, and all of a sudden, something just tells me, just go check it out before the closing. I don't know why, so I drove to the property, and it had been vandalized. Somebody was squatting in there living, I have no idea. So here I am, I got to close on Friday, I got there Wednesday, and I've got to repair the house. Or there's some problems. So of course I called him, who was working on a project with one of my partners, and I said, dude, you've got to get to this property like tomorrow. And I need it, and he's like, by when do you need it? I said, I need it by Friday. And he's like, okay. And then of course by then we already shut down electricity and everything. I mean, we were ready to close. and it was now going to be on the buyer. So he went out there, gave me a list. By 8 o'clock in the morning, I got a phone call saying, I'm already here. We have a problem with power, but don't worry, I already paid the guy $20. So I'm tying into his electricity, and we're going to make this happen. Because if I got to carry buckets of water, I will. So that's the kind of guy that that you really know is going to hustle for you. So for him, I'm not going to go with him to Home Depot to say, okay, let's see if we really bought the paint for that, or the baseboards, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the texture. He's gonna be pretty honest because he knows that I'm giving residual business, and that's.